Hi, welcome to my channel. This is a requested video from one of my lovely members, how to get out of the push-pull thing, how to release yourself from the push-pull energy. When you're in a relationship, any relationship, whether you're in a relationship at the moment, whether you're looking to be in a relationship, and you always slip back into that push-pull. So maybe you start off not so into somebody and then you do end up more into them, and as soon as you end up more into them, they pull away from you when they've been really into you to start with. How do you stop that? I'll refer you back now actually to my magnetism video, just so you can have a look at that after this. Have a look at this and then go back to that and have a look at what is the things that you can do in order to make yourself naturally magnetic, really, so that you don't have to keep trying. So, okay, what's going on here? Well, it's the law of reversed effort, basically. So the harder you try for something, the more it pulls away. So it's really frustrating sometimes, I think, when you get into a relationship and you don't feel that strong. You quite like the person, but you don't feel that strong pull, and then you suddenly do. And so you start then giving more of yourself. So you think you're just giving more of yourself, and then they start to pull away. And you think, every time I try to give more of myself to somebody, they pull away from me. Well, one, you've probably got a really strong subconscious program going that says that's what happens. Every time I give, the person pulls away. So that's one aspect of it. Secondly, you probably have a little bit of a fear of losing things in general in life. Thirdly, we are drawn to aloof people. We are drawn to people that aren't attached to us. We are drawn to people that are a bit indifferent. So as soon as that energy is kicked in slightly, we might really grab onto that energy. So let's say they do something or say something that we think, oh, hang on a minute. And then we get that feeling of, oh no, they're changing their feelings, they're changing their mind. So we build that energy and we build that energy. Then they seem more and more aloof, they seem more and more detached from us. And so we then go into that chase energy. So really, the way to get around this completely is to decide, hang on, like, I don't want to feel like this. So you make a firm decision. I am not going to chase anyone in life. What was it? I wrote an article about this when I used to write articles about relationships, and it's like, I think I said something like, never chase a person or a bus, basically, because when a bus is pulling away, it's probably not going to stop for you. So or you'll fall over and your heel snaps or something like that. And much the same as when you start chasing a person, you're falling over, your heel's snapping, they keep going, they just keep going. They can't even see you. They haven't even looked in the wing mirror to see you there, to feel sorry for you and stop. So if you start from a point of deciding you are going to act yourself no matter what happens, and you are going to be fearless. This is one of my favourite power words. I've been using it with a lot of people, fearless. If you keep saying to yourself fearless every single day, let's say you give yourself 4 weeks of fearless. So you build fearless within you for 4 weeks. Can you imagine that? How different you might feel? Because when we are fearless, we just don't have those feelings, and naturally we don't have that chase energy. We just don't go into it because we think, that's your problem, not mine. If somebody starts to behave in a certain way towards us, we don't immediately latch onto that and try to change their mind and make them feel different, because we are fearless. As you all know, I do love my power words, and I just find this a really great one because it has a really great energy. With power words, some have huge energy, like fearless, and unstoppable, all those words that I like, and some, such as detachment, don't have such a strong feeling. So you might feel, when you say, well, I don't really feel anything, so I'm not going to bother saying it, but it still does have a feeling, because every word has a feeling that is associated with it, because you feel that fearless is a really powerful word, so you get a powerful zap. But detachment is a more subtle word, so you don't get that powerful zap, but you still get an energy from it, and you cut out the resistance because you are not saying I am. So you choose a word that suits your situation and you go with that. Fearless will really, really help you with relationships. You will go into them more of a, oh, let's see how this works out. And I have referred to this before, but when I started to see Jeremy, and I've always been, I don't really feel I've ever chased, well, maybe once chased a relationship, but generally I haven't done that. I haven't felt the need to do that. I think maybe a lot of that comes from the fact that my parents were happily married for almost 50 years before my dad died. And we always were in that kind of mutually respectful family environment. So we had a great childhood, and I always saw a happy marriage. You know, they had their ups and downs, but mostly it was a happy marriage. They always had a laugh together. There was security there on both sides. Neither one of them was fearful of losing the other. And so I never saw that, I never experienced that. So I suppose I took that with me. So when I met Jeremy and I thought we were having this, what I considered a relationship, and then he turned around and said, oh, by the way, I don't want a relationship. And I thought, well, what is this if it's not a relationship? And I was hit with that feeling, but it wasn't a fear feeling. It was like, what? I just thought, am I really that deluded that I've seen this as something different? So I was a bit confused, I suppose, but I wasn't fearful. And I just decided that night, well, he'll change his mind. And I genuinely believed that he would change his mind, because I suppose to a certain point I did have a reasonable degree of self-esteem. I have gone through times in my life where I have struggled with that, but at this point in my life, in my early 20s, I think I felt fairly fearless. I think I felt fairly invincible. So there wasn't really a part of me that thought that he wouldn't change his mind. And then he did. And 7 months later we were engaged. And he didn't suddenly say to me, oh, I've changed my mind, I want a relationship with you now. It just drifted into what was obviously a relationship. And he wasn't seeing other people and I wasn't seeing other people. So, you know, it was obviously a relationship. And then he asked me to get engaged to him. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being direct either. I remember being really direct with him because I was 23 then. And that seems really young now to think about marriage, but back at that time, a lot of my friends were getting married in their 20s, and I wanted to know it was going somewhere. I kind of wanted to be sure it was going somewhere. I felt that it was, but I did look up and say, I would want this to be going somewhere, like eventually maybe we'll think about getting married. And I think it did throw him, I could tell it threw him for a second, well, probably for longer than that. I didn't mention it again, I just thought, good to get it out there, but I never worried that he would run away. I didn't get that feeling that he would, but I guess I would have dealt with it. Had it happened, I don't think for a minute I would have gone into chase if he had, because I would have thought, well, if he's not ready for that now, then he's not the one for me. That's what I would have thought. But so I think after I said that, after about 6 months, so that was quite soon, wasn't it? Like when I look back at that now, I think that's actually quite unreasonable. I said that to him then, but I didn't feel it was unreasonable at the time. And then a month later is when he asked me to get engaged. So he obviously thought about that. I just let him think about it. I just put it out there and thought, well, he'll think about that now and we'll just see where that goes. I didn't worry that that would scare him away because I just knew on an instinctive level that that's how I felt. I wanted to get it out there, I wanted to say it, and I'm quite good at being direct. I don't go around the houses, I don't get in a mood about things here. I don't sort of go around with something on my mind and never speak it. I just want to get it out there. I'm very direct. So that goes with my friends and my family. I will just say how I'm feeling, because if sometimes just saying how you are feeling can resolve a situation in an instant. And the thing is, if you carry on worrying about that situation and thinking about it, then you're building the energy of it happening and then it ends up happening. But if you just come out and say it to start with, then you've resolved it one way or another, just like that. And I just know that I have that inherent confidence that I would be okay whatever. So basically the push-pull is you stuck in an energy. Energetically, you are stuck in putting too much importance on whatever it is and chasing. It is a chase energy, and you have to notice it's going on and say to yourself, I am not doing this. Okay, it feels quite uncomfortable not to do this at the moment because I'm a little bit scared that if I don't do it, I'm going to lose it. But then you say to yourself, it will not change by me chasing it. Chasing it will not change. So you get really, really firm with yourself. And I have to do this with myself on the odd occasion, not the chasing thing, but in things in life. I will notice things about myself and think, stop. How is this going to help you? It's not going to help you. You have to change it. So this is why I often use power word. So that fearless power word, I just feel works for pretty much every situation. So you have to start from a point of, this will not serve me in any respect. So you practice there, not being like that, and that might come, this relationship might slip away for a little while, but it will come back. If you want it back, it will come back, and your energy will be different then, and you won't have that push-pull thing going on. But first of all, you have to decide, I can see that's what's going on, and I don't want this anymore. I want to be in control. I want to be fearless. I don't want any fear around people leaving me or not leaving me. I want that just my life to flow, and I want that acceptance. Because as soon as you start accepting people as they are, you start seeing that they're not the ways that you don't like anymore. They've kind of seem to have got out of that, and you don't really know how it happened because it happened quite naturally, because energetically you are different. It's all about your energy. So the best way to change things and to change your feeling state is, one, to really make that firm intention that you want it changed, what you do want to be like. And then I have found that power words are just awesome. I'm working with several people with them at the moment, and everyone is having success with them. because you take out the I am and you take out that resistance. So you get all of the power of the word, all of the energy of that word without the resistance. What can be better than that? And you've taken charge of it. You've decided, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And like I said, when I've talked about things coming with us from childhood, often these things do, you might have abandonment issues. I mean, maybe your parents split up when you were young, and maybe your mum or your dad left and you didn't see much of them, and maybe you would expect to see them and then they wouldn't show up. That's quite drastic, but it could have been little things like that. Maybe you had a friendship when you were younger that you lost and it devastated you, and so it can be anything as little as that. And you felt abandoned at the time, but you didn't necessarily know that's what you felt. And that is just a program that comes with you through life. And again, if you go back to your childhood, have a look at it and think, is there anything there that could be contributing to this feeling? Oh, okay, there is. You can heal it, use the healing technique. I heal this feeling, or you can say, I intend to dissolve this feeling, or I resolve to change this feeling. Whichever way you want to intend it, as soon as you do that, you've put it into motion and you are going to feel better. Because you've made a decision to put yourself first, and you cannot chase anything and have it sustain. You can't. And anyone could tell me, if someone came to me and told me, well, I chase all of the time and I always get and I always keep, I would say, well, you're not a chaser then, are you? Because if you always get to keep it, then you're not chasing it. There's always an answer I can come back with. I like coming back with a quick answer, but I do really appreciate other people's opinions on this. And you know, it's just opinion, it's subjective, and some people will listen to my videos and think I don't agree with anything you've said, but that doesn't make them wrong and me right, or me wrong and them right. It just means they have a different take on it, and I'm happy to listen to others people's opinions as long as they're not abusive. And mostly on this sort of thing, people are really respectful and they just give their opinion, and I'm happy to read it, and then maybe I might get something from it, think, oh, I don't know, I've never thought of it like that, or I might still disagree, but I'm happy to listen to it. I'm a great believer in free speech, so I don't remove comments if they don't agree with what I say. The only time I ever remove a comment is if it's abusive towards me, or I'm not so bothered about that, but if it's abusive towards another commenter, so another viewer, another subscriber, then I will take it off. But other than that, I don't. I just live and let live. Okay, I've had to practice a bit of that, has to be said, because I used to think, oh yeah, I'm happy for other people to have their opinion. I get that people don't agree with me, but deep down I felt annoyed that they didn't agree with me. I felt like, well, they're wrong, you know, but then I go, no, I'm happy with that, with your opinion, but I wouldn't really respect it, really, if I'm completely honest. But now I do, I really do. No, I can't, I have to respect that everybody's opinion. That's probably what really made me good at this, and really made me genuinely, naturally just open to other people's opinions, because I thought the person that's the opposite of me strongly believes, like, has this really strong feeling about this as much as I do. It's just that I have it at the other end of the scale, but it doesn't mean that I'm right or they're right either way. It just means that we both feel strongly in our own way. So why should there be this thing where I think that they're wrong? I just let them live and let live. So let them feel the way they feel, let them get on with life that way, and let me get on with it my way. And I'm really good with that now. I really have changed that aspect of myself, because I didn't like that feeling of not really, I can't say I didn't respect other people's views, but I sort of had this feeling, I suppose, if I had to put a label on it, which would say, yeah, everybody's welcome to their opinion as long as it's the same as mine. So no, it's just the way I was, but I'm not like that anymore, really. Now, other people's opinions are what kind of make life rich, don't they? Somebody disagrees with you about something. I love having the conversation now and having that philosophical discussion with people about all kinds of things, so I actually quite like that opposing view, because I like the discussion. Anyway, I can shut up now. Thanks for watching. Hope this was useful. I will put a link down to other videos that I feel will be useful from this point, and also I will put a link down below I have a link down below to my latest book, which is called For the Love of Me, which I just think it covers everything. And if you can, I just wanted to make a nice little book that you could keep, I make a lot of little books that you could keep referring back to pull you back on track. I think, no, this is all about me. And if I make it all about me, then I'm never going to be chasing anything ever again.